Yes, so welcome back. You're still watching Power Breakfast right here on Citizen TV, and we continue with our news review with my panelists, Rose Nyamunga, Women Representative, Kisumu County, and Beatrice Elachi, nominated Senator and Majority Whip. And we're also joined by one other panelist, Rehab Robi, nominated MCA for Migori County. She also aspires to be Kuria East Member of Parliament. Karibu sana. Yeah. All you, the two of you are aspirants. You are hoping to defend your seats. Yeah. Okay. Now, just for clarity, you are an ODM chairperson for Kuria East.
Yeah.
Are you still in ODM?
I'm still in ODM.
Okay. So you'll be speaking from that side. So, Senator, you are alone for Jubilee this morning, but I know you do a good job for them. Anyway.
I will try.
So the headlines on the front page of the Star, and governors demand 2017 direct tickets. Yes, and of course, Uhuru and Raila promised that their respective parties will hold free and fair party primaries, but a number of governors feel that they spent their first time in office trying to put together this new concept of county governments that was not there before. So they've actually spent most of the time putting up the structures, ensuring there's actually a system that works, which truly, you can give them that. Of course, all the 47 governors are male. I'm sure a number of females are looking to unseat them. But those on page 5 of the Star, those seeking direct nominations from their parties is Cyprian Awiti from Homa Bay, Colonel Rasanga Siaya, Kinodia Mbugua, Nakuru Governor, that's Jubilee, Okoth Obado, Migori County, where you come from, Jack Ranguma, Kisumu County. They are seeking direct tickets. Do you think that your parties should even consider this?
In my view, I do not think that the party should be considering that. The reason being that it is coming too late. Yeah, if it was something that had been decided much earlier, because, okay, it's a new setup. The county governments are new setups, and the governors needed to put a lot of things in order. That is for sure. But then it is coming too late. Many people have already started campaigning, and there are also many issues where people are not satisfied with the serving governors. And I mean, that cuts across even with the presidency. Okay, for the presidency, Uhuru Kenyatta is defending his seat, nobody's contesting. But for governors, I think that we cannot talk about that now. If there's anything like that, maybe it should be put in the constitution so that it cuts across. But another thing that you've just mentioned is the fact that there are no women governors, so we cannot just let it go like that. We are hoping to get a few, at least 3 or 4 women governors. So we would want to see that done. And if we allow the serving, because right now all of them are male, so if we allow them to go unopposed, and in their strongholds, people like in the ODM or in the Jubilee strongholds, they will just go unopposed. So what I'm saying is that it is a good thing, but I mean it could be considered in future, but not right now, because people have started campaigning, and also there are issues with serving governors that most people will not allow that to continue.
And before we come to you, Senator, because Migori County and Kisumu County are represented on this panel. I understand both Migori County and Kisumu County have women vying for these governor seats. Yeah, and this would definitely lock them out. Let's start with you, Rehab Robi. What do you think should happen?
Thank you. As for me, we believe in democracy. In ODM, we believe in democracy. And also, it's not constitutional. It was not there. So we cannot just implement it within overnight. They should be ready to go and battle it out with the rest. So that women, the youth, and all other aspirants can have a platform to express themselves, and also it will set as a checking point on or evaluate on the work that they have been doing before. And
probably you point out which female candidates are hoping to unseat Governor Okoth Obado in Migori County.
We have Anna Modo Anyanga. She tried last time, but due to the party decisions, she ended up being somebody's running mate. So she never made it for the position. So she's still going to vie for the same position as a governor.
Okay, in Kisumu County, how many women?
So far, I know Atieno Tieno. She vied there in 2013. but she did not make it. But she's running again. So I think the women should be given an opportunity to run. And as she has already mentioned, democracy must play.
Ruth Odinga, is she running?
Ruth Odinga, yes, Ruth Odinga is also running. So in Kisumu County, actually, we have
two women.
Kabatino Otieno and we have Ruth Odinga.
Yes.
So both of them are running, and I think both of them should be given an opportunity to prove themselves.
Yes. Now, Senator, I'll ask you a different question. There's been some talk in some quarters that probably governors should be given a maximum of 2 terms, just like the president, and probably be allowed as incumbents not to be subjected to party primaries. Probably after the first term, you are assured at least you will still be on the party ticket for the second term, and if at all, because there are only 2 terms, because some of these governors actually believe they'll be there forever.
They can be there forever in different positions. The Constitution gives them that right. But when they went for the position, I believe they read the Constitution properly, what it said. And it said you have 2 terms, but you have to compete for those 2 terms, just the way the president is going to compete.
So the law as it is, their maximum, they have a maximum 2 terms.
Yes. 2 terms.
Yes.
So you can be jacked out this 2017. You have a right to come back and finish another term in whatever year that the people will feel they want you back. But I think if
but
we
it's
go
2 consecutive terms.
well,
like
2 consecutive terms,
if you serve 2 terms, are you able to come after another 10 years and vie for the same position?
No. Well, the law is a lacuna there also, so let me not say no, because maybe the law says after 2 terms you can give a break. It will depend on how people will interpret the law.
Yes.
But you cannot say you have finished 2 terms and come. But since the presidents don't come, so it's the same.
Okay.
So I doubt whether you are able to come back in any given point. But it does not reject you to become a senator.
Okay.
It does not reject you to become a member of parliament. So you can still compete in the other positions. But having said that, I want to tell our governors, if they really wanted a direct ticket, they just needed to have proved to Kenyans why you are a governor. Yes, because if you have performed, you will still get your ticket. You will compete, go for the primaries, you'll get your ticket. But if you have not performed, then don't even try, because there are those who are waiting to remove you. And the most interesting part is that all the politicians are waiting, either in the National Assembly or in the Senate. All of them are eyeing this seat.
Especially in the Senate.
Yeah, especially in the Senate, all of them are eyeing this seat. So I can imagine if you go to the party and try and announce that now they are having a direct ticket. Jesus Christ, you will create conflict with the party.
What about the argument that they spent the 90% of their first terms in office trying to put up the structures at county level? It is a legitimate claim. I feel so.
Really?
Yes.
So what will our president tell his opponent?
No, but
that I came into office with a new constitution.
The position of the presidency was there.
It was there, but now look at it. You come into office, you have a new constitution, you're supposed to create 47 institutions to work and move, and you must continue ensuring the transitional process is seamless. You're supposed to reduce your ministries from where the Grand Coalition left you to 8 to 14 first. Try and work with that and make the Kenya move without Kenyans having to feel there's something happening. Now these governors want to tell us they went into an institution, did foundation. Let them not joke with us. They are joking. Who told them? You knew when you were taking the job, that is the job. So can they prepare themselves for a good fight with others?
The majority, yes, as you rightly put it, are from Nyanza. We have Migori Governor Kotho Bado, Kisumu Governor Jack Ranguma, Colonel Rasanga from Siaya, Cyprian Awiti Omabe. Is there any county that is left from Siaya that they are all 4 of them are here?
All the governors of Nyanza,
they all want to.
They are really crying.
Okay.
But I'll say why. I know. I know Rosa won't say, and don't say it. Let me say it for them.
Yes.
You know why they are saying this? Because they know if Baba endorses, they are in.
Yes.
And if Baba says you are going for a nomination, trust me, you'll be out.
No, I don't think that's correct. That's really not correct. There's nothing about Baba endorses or says what. ODM is a very democratic party, and we believe in democracy. we are the fathers of democracy in this country, and Kenya now knows democracy because of the same Baba.
Yes.
So we cannot talk like that. But what I can say is, in my view, democracy is democracy. We cannot be talking about democracy and also talking about direct. So the two cannot marry.
Okay.
So we just must let people compete. If you are good enough, as Lachi has already stated, they will go back. But there's no direct nomination as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the party is concerned. Because if we do that, the same day we kill democracy.
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't think...
Anything to add to that?
Just to add on that, in Nyanza, you know that ODM is the ruling party.
Yes.
So they automatically know that when you fail in a nomination with an ODM ticket, you are in.
Yes.
And I think that's why they feel they should get that direct nomination.
Yes.
And remember, there's no party hopping. So maybe some of them feel that if they don't make it and there is no party hopping, they're done.
Yes.
So they want to get that direct nomination.
Okay, and let's be fair to them. These 5 governors listed here are not the only ones who want direct nomination. There are at least 10 others from the Rift Valley, according to this story on the Star. 10 others from the Rift Valley who want rewards for their good work and motivation. That's what they call it.
So 10
rewards for their good work and motivation.
10 plus 5 is only 15. We are not even halfway.
And that's why I'm saying, in the strongholds, if the figure they see is, for example, Central, let me not use Rosa because she feels, let me give an example. Anyone in Central Province who stands with the president, the people will give you. Same in Nyanza. Let us not lie to ourselves. That is why we need to rethink as women, we find ourselves sometimes in very awkward situations, because even Rose and me, we know if you stand in Western or you stand in Nyanza, if Rose does not stand, even her, with my former Prime Minister here, then you will not get the seat. And if he decides to even stand with another one, perception just comes immediately, and they say, now we can realize he wants so and so. Just perception. That's how our politics are. And that's why I was saying, even in Rift Valley, if you do not stand with the Deputy President, you will have the same challenge. So that's our politics.
Yes.
That's our politics. Migori County is a bit unique, cosmopolitan, where we have the Luos as the majority, then we have Koreans as a minority. But we usually take the Koreans as the stakeholders. Then we have other communities with us. That's why you'll find Junet, who is not a Luo, is an MP in Migori. Then we have the governor, Obado. He's not in ODM. He vied under the PDP ticket, but he had the backup of the Koreans, and he made it. So it's a bit tricky in Migori. But as for this time,
so the Baba effect does not...
the Baba effect did not apply. So what I will say is that let your work speak for itself. Yeah.
So you standing next to Baba will not give you an edge in Migori? You aspire to be MP for Kuria East?
MP is not all about standing next to Baba. In Kuria, they look at the personality. They vote the person. They don't vote the party.
Well,
but when you're going for the county position, you have to stand with Baba. You have to stand with the party. That is the party of the day. It's only that now our case is a bit unique. Because the sitting governor has the backup of the Koreans having a running mate from the Korea side. But Migori is actually coded. It's an ODM zone.
Let's talk about other stories now. And IEBC, there's a story on page 6 of the Standard that IEBC has revised the timelines as reality of new poll laws dawns. Now the Electoral Agency has revised its timelines in efforts to meet some of the strict deadlines set by the recently enacted poll laws. The new changes come as it emerged that some of the timelines set by the Joint Select Committee on Electoral Reforms were arrived at without considering whether they can be achieved. Now these are some of the loopholes that we got from the Joint Select Committee. Now the Commission says had been requested to have the second mass listing of voters in December to tap eligible school-going youth. The exercise will now run from February to March next year. Do you think this will affect the elections in any way, either positively or negative?
No, I think the law is made for the people. And it can be adjusted to suit the same purpose, the people. And this time it is about the people and it's about the elections. So since the time is very short and nobody is interested in changing the election date, it can be readjusted. So long as whatever is agreed on was agreed on in the new regulations is met. So I believe that since they did that, it is within the timeline, and it should be given that opportunity, because we need the best, and the rules are made to serve the people and to serve the nation as a whole. Yeah, what I don't agree with is the fact that they've started. I mean, is it the executive or the commissioner? The secretary has started. They've started listing the voter register. I think they should wait. Yeah, they should wait and until the commissioners are put in place, because the process is already ongoing. Yeah, we need to do this thing clean, and we need to have a very clean elections, so that Kenyans are satisfied at the end of it all, and we don't have a repeat of some of the things that we saw in 2007, 2008.
Okay. And of course there's that clash between now we're seeing a possible clash between CORD and Jubilee in terms of this purported audit of the voter register, and James Orengo, who co-chaired the Joint Select Committee, has actually written and warned the Secretariat not to try to audit the voters register until you have a new commission, a new IEBC commission, because he argues the current commissioners, who yes have given notice to resign, they're still there, and they should not oversee any process that will determine the next election. Do you think he's right in saying that?
I think
because the issue of timelines is also a concern. Some of these things need to be done.
Yes, and I think what the Secretariat was just trying to do was to advertise, so that because you have the new law says you for example, if you're doing any procurements for institutions like IEBC, you're supposed to do at least 180 days. So it is up to us politicians. If we bring in those issues, don't come and blame them when they start doing it at the wrong time. Because if we are not careful, all these processes will converge when we are doing nominations. So who will we blame? So for me, I would have wished we can trust and say, you're just doing you're flagging out now in the paper, so that the institutions that would wish to audit, and it's not a secret thing, so it will come in the papers. We will know which institutions have applied to audit. So I would have wished the chair would look at it from a process where you're looking at your timelines, and whether you're not going to find yourself in a conflict with some of the timelines that you're pushing. Because for now, I can see we already have a problem with Maraga. If the National Assembly does not give us the Chief Justice within this week or next week, then we have nobody to swear in the vetting team. And because the law envisages he's the one to swear in. So we need to be so we need to be told after this who swears in. If there is no Chief Justice, then who? We have not been told. So and I think politicians should. I don't know why we are trying to just put bottlenecks on ourselves in a process where we would have managed so well. I would have wished they continue with the adverts, because it is advertisement. That does not mean you will sit in and select. I think the best they can do, advertise, hold on selection. When the commission comes in, let it be their first job to select the right team.
Rahab, Robbie, are you in agreement with the other panelists on this matter in terms of the timelines that towards the next elections?
The timelines matter a lot, but flexibility is also very important. And at this juncture, we realize that okay, we don't have the CJ, but also we have to consider the public. What opinion? They already have a formed opinion about the outgoing commissioners. So I don't think they will trust anything that will be done in their presence.
Okay, and incidentally, you mentioned the CJ and his vetting, because he comes up for vetting tomorrow before the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of the National Assembly. We already have a petition by a member of the public against his appointment, of course, because of some judgments he made while being the presiding judge in Eldoret. And there's also claims.
Is it the judgment or the backlog?
The backlog of cases. But there's also an issue with one of the judgments I think he made against a former member of parliament. And
killing.
Quite a number of MPs from that region are also not very happy with him, and they're saying probably they could delay his appointment when it comes to vetting. Do you see, because even that will affect the elections in a way, because you're saying he has to be appointed before he can swear in the selection panel, and before that then nothing happens.
But you see, that's where I always tell Kenyans, we have a process. That process gives you an opportunity to bring all those petitions. When he was being vetted at the right point, why didn't we take all these petitions? Why? Why wait until you have finished the process, you have pushed, a name has come, now is when again we go back to what we were supposed. That is why we have that process of COBIA. That process gives any Kenyan an opportunity to take what you feel is not right. If a judge has been having the backlogs of his cases, of his everything, then that is the right time.
But members of the National Assembly argue that they wait for their turn because he has still his name has to be taken to the National Assembly.
Yeah,
for
me, this vetting by members of us, from what I've seen from experience, the vetting is already done.
Yes.
Yeah, it is done at the interview level where everything is interrogated. That is when actual, and that's, as my sister puts it, that is when every issue should be. And then it will also depend on the weightiness of the issues that is being raised now. If it is the backlog, why? And if this is an Amoi case, I mean, we must look at the weightiness of these issues. But this is not the right time to bring it up. In my view, some of these things should be rejected.
But then anyone who wants to play politics and probably even delay the election, then this is the opportunity, even including members of the National Assembly.
I think that is a deliberate attempt, because even before you are shortlisted for an interview, a lot of consideration is made. So by the time you are in the interview panel and it's done publicly, that is the time you can present your issues. Failure to do that, it must be done. It is out of malice.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you see, when I look at now the judgment of Aina Moi, I think Kenyans, we must start rethinking ourselves, search our souls. Because you are now hitting on the judge because he jailed someone 10 years instead of 30 years. Really, the merits and demerits of both must be looked at. Yes, because even really in God's eyes, and I'm sorry to say this and it is not right, but because sometimes I always look at Kenyans and ask myself, really, was also Mheshimiwa rightful on that day on what he was doing? Was it rightful? Where he has gone now, for him to his maker, because it's only God who judges. As we judge which is wrong, I don't need to judge anyone.
And I think
because
normally in
let us
judgment,
ask ourselves.
you are given it could be the highest or the lowest.
Yeah.
But the judge has got the can decide.
Yes.
Yeah, it is up
because
to
I doubt really it has to do with the merits or demerits of that case. Really, it's just a matter of, and you know your colleagues in Parliament, both at the Senate and the National Assembly, they're just trying to play politics with this matter, and that's why I was asking if it's another attempt to delay the processes and the timeline.
But I don't think Kenyans are ready for that. We are not ready for that.
Yes.
I think let us leave. He will be judged. If he did it wrongly, I would pray the Aina Moi people would pray that let him be judged with what he did. And it will come to pass at one point. But let us not make it an issue, because even the family, I think, has tried itself to move on. So now when we bring it this time, even we will, it's like we are telling the family will be wondering, where were you in all this when we were suffering? Why now? Yeah, so
now, as we wrap up our news review this morning, it's something interesting I've noted is that today CORD and Jubilee are not featuring on the main headlines, and that has always been either CORD or Jubilee and whatever, and their shenanigans. And but still something is happening with this within these two formations. Of course, CORD, the Raila and Kalonzo split on the date to pick their flag bearer for the CORD coalition. Of course, Raila says it can be as late as May next year. Kalonzo says by December we have to have that. Jubilee, once again, is struggling to get a headline for Jubilee Party, and it's something that I've been saying
I
over
like
and over
the way
again.
you tell me you're struggling.
I'm struggling
I don't know.
because once you discuss,
We have a good headline. Ours now goes back to the dam. I told you now the issues of
about election. We need to discuss party politics sometimes. But as your last comments, I'll give you an opportunity to give your last comments. You can choose whatever you want to say. But I'll start with you, Rahab Robi, nominated the MCA in Migori County. Last comments on the headlines this morning. or as you collect your thoughts, we could move on to Senator Beatrice Elachi, nominated Senator and Majority Whip.
Well, I think my last comment is really to urge us politicians that we are in a very interesting time, and we are in a time where Kenya is evolving, yes, with a lot of challenges, but also with a lot of achievements that we have seen. It is up to us to look at our country and ask ourselves, what is best for us? What is best for the future of our children? Because, and I'll end up saying, I saw in one of the corridors that the president has ordered that we must pay contractors and suppliers. Yes. I want to urge the governors, because there are some Machakos all over are owing people money where the banks are about to close. People have, some of them have become sick, and I am hoping they are going to pay their suppliers.
County governments.
County government, yes. And also national government. I have a young man who supplied stuff in the Ministry of Infrastructure, and I know the CS has been trying to help, but we have some officers who believe how they can just do crooked things in these ministries, and very soon we are going to list and I'm going to try my best to bring out a list of shame, Fred, where people, you've gotten things from young people, yes, but you've just refused deliberately to pay, and it's only 3 million, but it's a young person who has struggled, who has gotten a loan, is supposed to pay, yet you come and say, one says he delivered, the other one says you didn't deliver. It is very sad, and I want to tell those Kenyans in those offices, as the majority leader normally says, "Hii pesa yenu," I'll tell them the same. Hii ni pesa ya umma. If someone has supplied,
he said it a bit differently, but yes, I get you.
Well, in the wrong way, but I'll say it this way. Yes. This is taxpayers' money. We appreciate when people do the right thing. Now, if someone has supplied, yes, can you pay them their dues? Yes. Stop making families suffer. You are seated in an office because you know watakuja wakwende. You know that's how they speak in these offices. Yes. That's why when they are being transferred, they refuse, because you have sat on a seat for 30 years, you don't even want to move. Okay. And we are saying it's a new dispensation. My dear brothers and sisters, let us respect each other. Pay anyone who has done a job. If you feel he did not do the right job, then there's something wrong also with you. Yes. You can tell him, but pay him. Yes. Yes.
And it also has a lot to do with the women who the president and the Jubilee administration has been trying to push to get more government tenders.
Which I tell you, the men have played. If they play even us, I even wonder how these other women are surviving, because the men know how to play this game of tenders. And that's why I tell you, when you see a headline, don't just read. Start looking at who is the supplier, who is, because you will find a lot of dark images in there and skeletons that you will not believe.
Yes, thank you, Senator Rahab Romi.
Thank you. For me, I think I'd say that critics is very important. Me being in the opposition, I would I encourage the government to listen to the critics. It's only that we keep the government on checks, and that is even the only way to sustain democracy, the only way to embrace devolution that we are enjoying today. It's very, very important.
Thank you so much. And finally, Rose Nyamunga.
Yes, what I would say in closing is that the issue of the flag bearer for the Code family, I personally believe in the leadership of our principals. And I don't think that should be a very touchy issue for outsiders, meaning the Jubilee government. They should just let CORD put their house in order. I believe the three principles, they are people of maturity. They are people who have done politics. If you look at Kalonzo Musyoka, if you look at Weta, and you look at Raila, these are very mature politicians in this country. And I believe whatever they are doing, they are really in charge and in control. And very soon you will get to know who our flag bearer is. So let it not be anybody's business. Let it be the CORD business. And not even us. We have a lot of confidence in these leaders. Lastly, I would like to tell the Jubilee government that before they go home, it is very important that some of these issues like the NYS issues, they should also be cleared, so that they go home in a very honorable way and without a lot of strings back, because we will judge them very harshly, and we are waiting for them when the time comes.
Thank you so much, Rosa.
I want to tell Rosa, code and Jubilee. This is politics.
Yeah.
There's nothing like leave code to do while you can see former Prime Minister hitting us every day.
Yes.
We will hit you guys,
Yeah.
and there's no place we are going. And she knows. I know she's a very prayerful girl, so she knows there's no place where Jubilee is going. By the way, we are coming back. NYS, nobody has refused. Those who are responsible will go to jail, and we have always said that, because in the end, individuals are the ones who do this thing.
Okay.
But the most important thing, and I know Rosa knows very well, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will be the president in 2017.
Well, we've got to the end of our news review this morning. Thank you so much, my panelists. Rose Nyamunga, women representative Kisumu County, who hopes to defend her seat on an ODM ticket. Beatrice Salachi, nominated Senator, Majority Whip, who aspires to be the next Dagoretti North Member of Parliament, and Rehab Robi, nominated Member of the County Assembly for Migori, who aspires to be the next Member of the National Assembly for Kuria East. I remember Power Breakfast comes